My brother Jordan inherited our parents' 1.5 million waterfront mansion in the heart of San Diego's elite enclave. Meanwhile, they handed me Grandpa Elias's 50-acre spread in the backwoods of Tennessee, a patch of earth that hadn't yielded a harvest in over 2 decades. The mansion gleamed with modern luxury, perched in a neighborhood where fortunes were made and flaunted. The farm? Just barren cracks in the dirt, sagging fences tangled in weeds, and a barn one storm away from ruin. I'll never forget Sophia's face when she saw the deed clutched in my fist. It twisted like she'd been handed a noose. "Alex!" she spat, her voice laced with venom. I fell for a dreamer, not some dirt-poor rancher with a scrap of useless ground. Then she grabbed her suitcase, slammed the door, and vanished into the night, her footsteps echoing down the hall, hurt worse than any lost fortune ever could. I stood there, shattered, robbed of my family's trust, my marriage, my self-respect. The only path ahead seemed to lead straight to Tennessee. Sell the damn thing for pennies and erase it from my mind forever. But when the surveyor showed up and laid out his findings, my world spun on its axis. What lay hidden under that forsaken soil didn't just rewrite my fate. It unraveled every truth I'd held about my kin, Grandpa Elias, and the man staring back in the mirror. I grew up in a home where affection was doled out like rewards, and Jordan always claimed the lion's share. From day one, he was the star, the charismatic kid with straight A's, big plans, and our parents' endless praise. He'd stride into a room, and Mom and Dad would beam, like he'd just conquered the world. Me? I'd get a nod, maybe a nudge to step up my game. I was the steady one, the quiet fixer who kept things running without fanfare, but never the one who sparked their pride. That gap haunted us into our adult years. Jordan climbed the ladder as a slick investment advisor in San Diego, strutting in the tailored suits, cruising in his sleek silver Mercedes, sealing deals with handshakes from the elite. I carved my own way in construction, hopping sites, scraping together a stable life for Sophia and me. It wasn't flashy, but it was real. I figured that counted, until the inheritance laid bare how little they valued me next to him. The announcement hit like a thunderclap in the sunlit living room of that San Diego gem. Jordan perched on the armchair's edge, his trademark smirk hinting at victory. I slouched in the sofa's shadow, steeling myself. For months, our parents had teased about planning for what came next, but details stayed shrouded. Dad cleared his throat, voice steady. "We've decided. Jordan, this house is yours. Raise your kids here. Keep the legacy alive." He passed over a sleek envelope with the title inside, and Jordan's eyes sparkled like he'd unwrapped a miracle. Mom enveloped him in a hug, her words thick with emotion. "You'll turn this into something extraordinary. I just know it." I waited, heart pounding, craving even a scrap of that warmth. Dad pivoted to me, sliding a thinner file across the coffee table. "Alex, you're getting Grandpa Elias's 50 acres in Tennessee. It's modest, but it's roots. He always intended it for you." I flipped it open to a faded deed for a plot I hadn't visited since childhood. Abandoned for years. No yields, no livestock, just erosion and neglect. Grandpa Elias had been a fierce soul, but his grit couldn't stop the decay. My gut plummeted as Jordan hugged his papers close, already scheming upgrades and parties. I masked my rage, but inside it burned. This wasn't about cash or bricks. It was the slap. They'd gifted him triumph and security, while dumping on me a millstone, a punchline, a dismissal. Back at our apartment that night, Sophia didn't bother veiling her fury. She tossed her bag on the island counter and fixed me with a glare. Tell me this is a joke, Alex. Your brothers handed a palace by the sea, and we're supposed to cheer for some lifeless dirt heap in the sticks? I tried to soothe her. It's property. We can flip it, turn it into cash. She scoffed, shaking her head. Cash? That ground's been barren for 25 years. It's garbage. You think I'll play pioneer wife out there? This isn't the life I chose. Her tone cracked with raw disdain, and for the first time her gaze held not devotion, but scorn. I froze, the file crumpling in my grip, desperate for words to fix it. I clung to hope this could spark a turnaround, but deep down, shame flooded me. My folks had branded me runner-up, and now my wife echoed the verdict. The following days dragged like chains. Sophia turned icy, silent, until one dawn she declared it over. She zipped up her lone bag, met my eyes, and said, I can't chain myself to a guy with empty pockets. You're decent, Alex, but decency doesn't cover rent. I'm done. The door clicked shut behind her. That evening I slumped on the couch. The deed fanned out on the table like evidence of my defeats. It weighed like lead, echoing Jordan's riches, Sophia's exit, and 50 acres of mocking wasteland. Sleep evaded me, so I cruised San Diego's streets in my pickup, neon signs streaking by in a haze. Every glowing corner screamed the existence I lacked. Jordan's new mansion loomed nearby, radiating promise, while my destiny sprawled eastward in Tennessee's shadows. I vowed not to let this break me. If the land was junk, I'd offload it and rebuild. If it held a sliver of worth, I'd seize it and forge ahead. No more shackles from family bias or spousal scorn. I craved liberation, even if it meant auctioning off the final shard of our heritage. That night, resolve hardened. Tennessee awaited. The morning after Sophia vanished, I stirred to an oppressive quiet that squeezed my ribs. Her pillow lay untouched, the wardrobe gutted, the space carved in half like a wound. I brewed coffee, eyes locked on the deed sprawled across the table. A bitter jest. Jordan was likely strolling that mansion's corridors, our parents fawning, while I nursed solitude with a tie to soil I despised. At the job site, the clamor of tools couldn't mute the echoes. Sophia's barbs, my folks' indifference, Jordan's sneer looping endlessly until madness loomed. By midday, focus shattered. I retreated to my truck and dialed a Tennessee realtor I'd scouted online. Ben Harlan answered, his drawl thick with years in the trade. 50 acres in Jefferson County, I explained. Just get rid of it. He probed on details, site, state, backstory. I filled in gaps from faded memories. He exhaled heavily. Look, if you're dumping it quick, expect slim pickings. Maybe $7,000 for hunting grounds. No farming viable. Dirt's shot for ages. My knuckles whitened on the wheel. $7,000 for all that acreage. That's the deal, Ben pressed. But for selling, snag a survey report first. I'll link you with one. I disconnected, numb. Jordan got millions. I clutched chump change. Fury surged. I slammed the dash until skin split. That evening, I stuffed a duffel. San Diego's ghost choked me. Plan set, head east, survey the plot, hawk it cheap. Better scraps than staring at failure. The trek stretched endless, solitude gnawing with each mile. Thoughts swirled to Grandpa Elias, whose signature scarred the deed. A bull-headed tiller who cherished earth above all. This ground's got stories, Alex, he'd grunt. Honor it. Back then, it baffled me. To a kid, the farm meant sweltering days, yanking thistles, barking commands ringing in my ears. At 18, I bolted west, no regrets. Now, rolling eastward, I pondered if this was his parting jab. He'd picked me over Jordan, but it reeked of hex, not boon. Our parents spun it as his wish, yet doubt festered. It felt like chains forged from spite. I crashed at dingy motels, flat on lumpy beds, fixating on Sophia. Her final sting replayed. I didn't wed a penniless plowboy. It sliced soul deep. I wasn't even that. Just a drifter with sterile turf. Value tallied in flops. Crossing Tennessee's line, the breeze shifted. Roads twisted through dense woods. Hamlets shrank. Windows down. Scents of loam. Rain-soaked leaves and timber rushed in. Nostalgia's grip tightened. Nerves roiled as I veered onto the rutted path. Arrival gut-punched. The homestead tilted drunkenly. Panes shattered. Facade flayed by elements. Barn's crown bowed, riddled with gaps like heaven's rejection. Expanses yawned with thorns and fissures where bounty once bloomed. Rails toppled, choked in ivy. I killed the engine, stepped into hush. No souls nearby, no machinery hum, just gusts sighing through voids. Rage boiled. I yearned to roar at the heavens for this lot. Instead, I sparked a smoke, first in ages, and glared at my dubious domain. Dawn brought Tom Reynolds, the surveyor Ben endorsed. His battered rig growled up, tools clanking. Mid-50s, sun-etched, no-nonsense vibe. The type who'd mapped 1,000 forsaken lots. His grip was iron. You're Alex, Elias's kin. Recall your Gramps, tough as nails, clung to this spot like kin. Turned away buyers left and right. I shifted, uneasy. I'm not him. Just value it quick. I'm selling. Tom eyed me, then dipped his chin. My first farm dawn jarred with chirps, piercing the cracked pane. The mattress groaned. Floors dipped. Dust veiled all. I rose, palms to temples, eyeing the deed on the stand. Like parchment freighted with flops. Visions assaulted. Sophia's fury. Jordan luxuriating in marble halls with our folks' nods. Grandpa Elias deeming this meaningful. Blind to it, I saw only desolation and fractured heritage. Tom rolled in post-sunrise, tires biting stone. He emerged with clipboard and gear. "Mornin', Alex," he drawled, even-keeled. "Boundaries first, then probe the dirt." I shadowed as he paced, noting, staking.